you will always love hip-hop. Keep it flowing like a river, so I drip drop. Verses and bars, we eating dinner with the stars. Excuse me while I float away, my brain is on Mars. Cause it's the Big Hits Podcast with Chris Williams. Sit back, relax, like your spliff, we in the building.
Yo, 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 this is Chris Williams, and welcome back to the Big Kids Podcast. Thank you for joining me today. I meant to mention last week that it was my birthday. Last week was supposed to kind of be, a birthday episode. Shit happens, forgot to mention it. But I'm another decade old, guys. Fucking 30 years old. And, you reflect on things, and I pretty much talked about, last week just being grateful for what you have, and don't worry about what other people have, and don't compare yourself to other people. Do what makes you happy, but do it within reason. If making $50 million is going to make you happy, and that's the only thing that's going to make you happy, chances are you're probably going to be a miserable fuck. So, just keep things in perspective and just try to enjoy the ride, guys, because you only got one of them. And I think being 30 years old, certain things come into perspective, and you realize that you do have to be more of a grown-up, or at least I think you should feel like that. Not too much. Not too much. Set some reasonable goals for yourself. I've been on this planet for 30 fucking years now. I have some sort of an idea of how things work. And there's my dad calling me right there. I'm gonna have to call him back after. I'm in the zone. I'm trying to get in and out today because I'll bring that up later at the end of the podcast. Talk to you guys about that. But yeah, I think you just got to set some reasonable goals for yourself. And I think one reasonable goal that I am going to set for myself is to limit the amount of fat boy shit that I do on a weekly basis. Right? So, for instance, this came to me because on my birthday, which was, what the fuck was my birthday? Saturday? I was still dealing with some fat boy shit that I did 2 days prior. So, the other day I made chicken Alfredo. Had it for dinner about 6 o'clock. I'm getting ready to go to bed, and my ass is hungry. So, instead of, having a quick little salad or cantaloupe that I bought for when I got hungry before bed. And guys, I get it. You're really not supposed to eat shit before bed, but I'd be fucking hungry. I'm gonna eat something. But I'm trying to make it healthier. I'm trying to choose healthier things to eat, right? So the other day I'm like, yeah, you know what? Fuck it, man. That chicken Alfredo is still there. Let me heat up the rest of this. Worst decision I've made in quite some fucking time. My stomach was jacked up for almost 3 days. We'll call it 3 days. And and I deserved it, though. There is no way in the world I think eating a bowl of cheese noodles before bed should do anything but have me jacked up. Guys, it was one of them things, you know exactly what I'm talking about, because it's happened to every single person. It doesn't matter who the fuck you are. One of those times where your stomach is so jacked up and you got to take a shit so bad and you just want it to stop. Just please stop. Just please stop. But again, I deserve that. So, going forward, 30 to 40... I'm going to try to just do less and less fat boy shit on a regular basis. If I was going to eat something before bed, I should have had a fucking glass of water and some watermelon or cantaloupe, or like I said, the little salad that I was planning on having. You can't be having a full fucking dinner before you go to sleep. You're not going to sleep well. It's not even that I didn't sleep well, guys. I slept fucking fine. But you wake up, you get that morning fart, you let that first one go. That one almost did me in. That shit almost did me in, guys. And I'd come on here and tell you if it happened, but I almost shit on myself. I almost shit on myself. Sorry, reading text messages. So yeah, goals for 30 to 40. Stop doing less fat boy shit. You know, move around a little more. Jump my rope. You know, I was watching fucking Hard Knocks the other day, and I don't know what I got room to do up downs. I don't know how many I could fucking do. I don't know how many I would get done, but I got space to do some up downs. Maybe I'll do a couple fucking up downs, work on the cardio. I know back in the day, Coach Ramil would have motherfuckers do 100, 200, 300 at a fucking time, no problem. Well, it was a struggle, but we'd get it done. So, you know, even though that was fucking 13 years ago at this point, Jesus Christ, you know, I know deep down I'm capable of doing it, so why the fuck can't I do a couple sets of 10 up downs? You know, I'm just, again, not trying to create the new wheel. I'm not trying to invent some shit that's out of this world. I'm just trying little things, guys, and over the past year, since I've been talking to you guys about it, I have been. You know, not perfect, drinking a lot more fucking water, because the thing about drinking water too is once you start drinking that shit on a regular basis and you're getting your couple of bottles of water in throughout the day, the days that you don't have water, you feel a little fucked up. You feel a little dry. So that has definitely been one of the things that I've incorporated the past year or so. And like I said, from 30 to 40, I'm going to try to act a little more adult. I'm going to try to do a little less fat boy shit. Yeah, besides that, 30 is fucking 30, guys. You know, I think you start to realize that this shit ain't a game. And what really made me realize that shit ain't a game is I'm leaving the house earlier, and I already knew the exhaust on my car needed to be fixed. I already knew it was a situation. I knew it before the last time I took it to get an oil change, but while I was there, they told me there was a fucking hole in my exhaust. But I'm thinking, like, yeah, being the frugal fucking guy that I am, I'll just wait. You know, I'll get it fixed when I got to get it inspected. Because he was like, if you got to get it inspected, it's not going to pass because of this fucking hole in the exhaust. So I'm like, all right, you know what? I'll just fucking wait. My inspection's up in October. But I don't know what the fuck happened this morning, and it wasn't making this sound before or when I got home yesterday, and I was driving all over the fucking place for work yesterday. But when I pulled off, my shit started to sound like a fighter jet was taking off. Now, I got the normal rumble that my fucked up exhaust has been putting out for a while. That shit was there. But this shit sounded like I was taking off with a fucking plane. So I don't know if that's the exhaust. I don't know if that's a ball joint. I have no idea what the fuck that is. But my car's got to stay parked until I can get over into the shop. And again, that's another part of being a fucking adult. You know, I got to get that fixed. They say when you live with a septic tank, you're supposed to get it pumped like every 3 years or something. So I got to get it pumped and inspected. Probably fucking soon. I don't want it to get too cold. It's about to be the middle of fucking September before you know it, next week. So I need to call them, get that shit done. And I need to get my fucking fireplace looked at, just inspected, to make sure I could fucking put some shit in there. Because this propane shit is still out of pocket. And I have a fireplace that since I've moved here, I haven't got inspected for use. So I need to get someone over here to inspect my shit so I can use my fireplace this winter. Save a little bit on this propane bullshit. So yeah, that's how I started off being 30. And I'm just like, shit, you know? And the thing is, I'm just grateful that I'm in a position where I know it's going to hurt to pay for all of this shit. I know I'm going to feel it just because I've got to be one of the most frugal people on the planet. Nah, that's a little exaggeration, because I've seen some shit on TLC. I've seen some shit on A&E. There's some fucking people that are out there. But I'm pretty fucking tight with my money. In the fact that I'm gonna have to give it not all up. I'm gonna have to give a good fucking chunk of it up in the next couple weeks, getting cars fixed, fucking getting the getting the fireplace looked at, because it's not even just getting the fireplace looked at. I gotta go buy firewood. I ain't chopped no goddamn firewood this summer. I didn't stock up on nothing, so I'm fucking late to the party. You know, when you own a house, you gotta make sure that all the heating vents are fucking clean, so the first 3 weeks you're not fucking breathing in dust and or putting yourself in position for your shit to catch on fire. So these are all things that you gotta do when you get older, when you own your own fucking house, because if you don't do it, no one else is gonna do it. You know, ain't nobody coming over to check out my fucking fireplace and chimney unless I call them over here and pay them to do it. Ain't nobody coming over here to worry about my septic system. If I don't get it done, this shit will just be bubbling through my backyard. When it gets too filled, this shit's just gonna be bubbling up in my backyard. Can't have that. I do need this I know I've been asking for rain, and I probably talked about it on here. The rain was cool, but I needed to chill the fuck out so I could go out back and pick up some dog shit, because we're not doing that again this winter. Last winter, I don't know what the fuck I was thinking, but I just did not pick up dog shit all winter. And then when springtime rolled around, it was a fucking graveyard. It was an absolute fucking graveyard. So I got to do that. I need to go buy some grass seed. So, because my backyard is on the road to recovery from these goddamn puppies tearing my shit up. It is on the road to recovery, but in my research as a 30-year-old man, I found out that if you do want nice grass in the spring, you got to plant it in the fall. And then you can plant some more in the spring, but the most ideal time, from what I've gathered, is you do it in the fall. Plants are funny. I don't know exactly, you know, why, but I'm just going to listen to them. I'm going to go spend $30 on a bag of goddamn grass seed, put that shit out there, and then hopefully when spring pops up, my backyard is a step closer. I truly believe this is going to be a 2 or 3 year fucking thing. My grass was always green back there, but it was kind of thin, and again, making plans and not following through. I made plans to, you know, fix up the backyard a little bit more and, you know, maintain it. I wanted one of them backyards that you're fucking proud of. Nice, thick fucking grass. Shit almost looks fake. But, you know, pandemic happened. Motherfuckers got lazy. Then work came back about. Motherfucker was stressed out that you gotta go to work after not having to for a while. So, you know, I'm trying to recalibrate. Or I'm still in the process of recalibrating, I should say. So, you know, those are things that need to be worked on. Those are things that when I put it in list form, it gets done a lot fucking quicker than if I just keep it up top, right? So I got these things written down, and I need to just check them off the list. I need to get all this shit done within the next month, because I'm not fucking around once it starts to get cold outside. I need to be very comfortable once it starts to get cold outside. I don't need to be trying to fucking figure things out. You know, I don't need to be trying to fucking doing shit last minute. I get pissed off when people do things last minute, so I can't be out here doing things last minute. So I will work on all these things, and I will keep you guys updated. I'll keep, in case you're curious, I'll keep you updated, alright? Fucking, hey, that whole shit this morning with the car fucking... It fucked up my whole mood, man. I'm over here salty as a motherfucker, being short with fucking people because of something that is probably my fault, because the car should have been taken to the shop a couple months ago. The shit should have been taken care of. But no, drag your fucking feet. See, listen, dragging your feet sometimes could put you in a better position because certain things could pop up. But then other times, a lot of shit is the inevitable. It's gonna happen whether you like it or you don't like it. So you've got to fucking do something about it now before it gets worse. And then you got a whole nother situation on your hands. And whatever that jet engine sound is, I feel like that's a whole nother situation that might have been able to be avoided if I would have just done what the fuck I was supposed to in the first place. So we're just there with that, alright? I wanted to come on here and do a fucking half-hour podcast episode, and I told you guys about my life for 14 minutes. All right, guys. I did want to talk to you guys about a couple things. Oh, okay. Dustin Poirier versus Michael Chandler official. Lightweight set for a 3-round fight in Madison Square Garden in November. Take that. Be a banger. Oh, I got a new subscriber on the YouTube. Guys, again, please, subscribe. I'm very again, I don't have a fucking ton of subscribers, but I do appreciate you guys. I got fucking 78 on SoundCloud. I got 19 on fucking YouTube. Let's get that 19 to match that 78. Again, guys, I'm not expecting this to be an overnight sensation. I'm trying to build a little community. And I just appreciate anybody that fucking tunes in and listens to this shit. Because you really don't have to. There's so many other things to listen to, but I do appreciate you coming on and listening to what the fuck I have to say. So again, thanks for the new YouTube subscriber. Oh, and I got a new SoundCloud one. All right, it's probably the same person. It's probably the same person, but thank you. Oh man, okay. What do we want to talk about today? All right, we talked about doing less fat boy shit. Let's talk a little politics, because I want to end it talking a little more sports, because that has a little bit, not a little bit, it has a lot to do with my plans going forward. So let's just start talking some politics. All right, now we talked about the student loan forgiveness stuff last week. Remember, a bunch of hypocrites, Republican hypocrites that got PPP loans forgiven, that are upset with you and me getting 10, 20 grand in student loan forgiveness. Okay, listen. Exactly. Fuck out my face with that bullshit. Just fuck out my face with that bullshit. But let's talk about a new hypocrisy. It probably happened about the same time, but again, guys, I try to stay away from politics a little bit, because not everyone wants to hear that shit, but there's just certain things that I can't ignore. Okay, now if you are, or if you have been keeping up with what's been going on with Donald Trump and the FBI search of his Mar-a-Lago resort, you would have some sort of idea of what the hell's been happening lately. Well, if you haven't, let me school you a little bit. So Donald Trump decided on his own, without clearing it with any appropriate channel, that he was going to take documents, some secret, some top secret, and some other classification that I don't even know the name of. It's some whole other shit that's above top secret. He was taking these documents and thought that it would be okay to bring him to his resort where he lives. Okay? First of all, you can't do this, because one, this isn't even a legit residence. You have people from all over the world coming in and out of this building, for starters. Two, it's possession of the government's, not Donald Trump's, not Barack Obama's, not George Bush's, not his dad, not Bill Clinton. It's not the president's fucking property just because he was the president when it went down. It is the government's property, all of these documents. Now, there are presidential libraries where some of these documents go to be kept so people can see them in the appropriate manner. But you don't just get to decide that on your own. There is a whole entire process. So, fast forward, the FBI for over a year and a half, since Donald Trump has left the White House, have been trying to get back these documents. Donald Trump and his people keep pushing it off. Motion here, do that. They just keep bullshitting. So now the FBI said, all right, we've given you 18 months to try to figure this out. Now we're going to start acting. We're going to start treating you like you're everybody else because we've already given you this grace period. So they go to Mar-a-Lago with a warrant and they get whatever it is that they can find. Now, they didn't end up finding everything, and a lot of the folders that they did find that were marked secret and top secret were empty. They were empty. Now, they weren't empty because they just took the folders and the government has the documents that were supposed to be inside. They don't know where the documents are right now, which is another problem. We're talking about nuclear information that is regarded secret, top secret, and above. Okay? So now Donald Trump is trying to appeal this and say that, well, that's executive privilege, meaning that I'm the president and it doesn't matter what you guys are saying because I'm the president and I declassified that. One, he's not the president anymore. The only person that has executive privilege at this point is Joe Biden. Barack Obama did not have executive privilege when Donald Trump was the president. Right? So now Donald Trump is trying to say, after saying that the evidence was planted, because I can't even keep up with their excuses and their rationale for having / not having these documents. Guys, come on. Sorry, that's the dogs. I'm trying to give them a chance, and they've made it 20 minutes. Now they're starting to act up. But he is trying to appeal this. And listen, and this is the whole fucking punchline right here, guys. This is the whole fucking 5 minutes leading up to this. The person that he is appealing this to is a federal judge that he appointed. So Donald Trump appointed her in 2020, right before the election. Her name is Aileen Cannon. And she is a federal judge in Florida, and he appointed her. Now, guys, I'm not saying that means that she can't do her fucking job. I'm not saying that at all. But just imagine if Donald Trump, Hillary Clinton, any Democrat that has the power to appoint any type of judge, any type of anything, had a judge ruling on their case, or having a judge they appointed ruling on their case. Imagine how the Republicans would be acting right now. So you guys were mad at Hillary Clinton for having her own server. You guys were mad at fucking what the fuck was his name? The Attorney General when Obama was president. What the fuck? Eric Holder. You were mad when Eric Holder had or wouldn't answer questions to Congress, but you guys do the same thing times 10. Hillary Clinton was never the goddamn president. Eric Holder was never the goddamn president. Aren't we supposed to hold the president to a different standard? It doesn't matter, or it shouldn't matter what political party they're from. So to absolutely ignore what Trump has been doing, but then turn around and be mad at Joe Biden for giving a speech, and guys, have you even listened to it? Anybody who's upset, have you even fucking listened to it? The speech is about fascists. And if you get upset when somebody speaks on fascists, you're probably the one with the issue. You're probably the fascist that he's talking about. If somebody fucking farts in a room, the only person that is really getting upset about that fart is somebody that's trying to cover up that fart. No, that wasn't me. Fuck out of here. That wasn't me. So it's the same fucking thing. Do not try to change the subject. What Donald Trump has done is not normal. What Fox News and CNN have done over the past 6 fucking years is not normal. Why do we continue to act like we're having a good faith argument when it comes to these people? we aren't having a good faith argument. We're not. Guys, I have my own separate beef with how Democrats do things. But at the end of the day, they are the only party that is taking things serious. Ask a Republican what's on their agenda. If they get back to House, what's on their agenda? If they went back to Senate, what's on their agenda? If they get back to presidency, what the fuck is on their agenda? And I guarantee it's not much besides locking down the border and some fucking bathroom bullshit. What sex is the M&M? Who's doing what on fucking Sesame Street? Oh, the woke mob this. It's all fucking bullshit, guys. We only have one party putting forth legit legislation. All you hear from the goddamn Republicans is if we take power, we're impeaching Joe Biden. Again, for what? For what? For the border, for the crisis at the border. It's the same shit when Donald Trump was the president. It's the same shit when Obama and Bush and Clinton and Reagan were the fucking president. It's always a fucking issue. So how the fuck you gonna impeach the current president when you ain't have shit to say when your guy was in? It's fucking insane, guys. And this is why our country's going to shit, because everybody's getting so tired of it all. They're getting so tired of it all. They're just lumping and grouping everybody into that fucking one pile of shit. No, that is the Republicans' pile of shit. The Republicans are the ones just fighting culture wars and trying to take women's reproductive rights away from them. And try to make it so members of the gay community can't get married or adopt kids. Or, yo, guys, who the fuck cares? Why do you care so much what somebody else is fucking doing? That is what your whole agenda is. You talk about small government, but you guys want to make decisions that affect all of us. Small government means local government. But no, you guys want to preach small government, but then make decisions for all of us. The Democrats are fucking wild too. They're fucking wild too. But on most things that don't affect people's lives in terms of life and death, not your freedom of choice, Democrats usually let that shit go. They're not fighting that battle. They're not fighting that war, because people are going to do what people want to do anyway. It doesn't matter what the fuck you got to say about it. So that's my thing. We really need to stop acting like the Republicans and the Democrats, if we slice it down the middle, they're both just as bad. They're not. Democrats are bad. All politicians for fucking ever, since the beginning of time, are fucking there's an element of bad to them. But the Republicans are not playing ball. There used to be a time where they had played ball. We would argue about tax rates. We would argue about infrastructure bills. We were not arguing if somebody's gay, should they be able to marry somebody? Why the fuck is the brown M&M now transgender? Guys, in the grand scheme, who the fuck cares? Are you serious? To try to get a couple people to feel included, we gotta blow it all up? No, you carry on about your fucking business. The people are gonna live their lives whether you like it or not. So it's best, and it's better for you to mind your own goddamn business. Especially if they're not. Listen, there's people, there's people in this world that want to be seen, want to be the center of attention. And I believe no matter who the fuck you are, when you are that type of person that's ready to show your ass and your clout chasing just for the sake of attention, and somebody will criticize you, I think you've put yourself in that position to be criticized for. Whether it's right, wrong, fair, unfair, you've put yourself out there. But the majority of people just want to do what they got to do every day. Most people just want to do the things that they have to do. That means go to work, go to the grocery store, work out a little bit, pay your fucking bills. That's what most people worry about, no matter what the fuck it is that you like to do in your downtime, in your own time, in your free time, with whatever relationship you're in. Why the fuck does that matter? And why do Republicans get so upset about it? Like, listen, there's a whole bunch of straight men that I don't agree with their fucking life choices. I don't think what they're doing is right. But I'm not fucking gonna turn the world upside down on its fucking head, slam it on its neck, because I'm trying to fucking bring these people down. I don't care. Do what you gotta do, man. I'm telling you, the easiest thing to do is mind your own fucking business, because the people that you're getting mad about, that you see in public and you don't agree with things that they're doing, guys, you don't have to live with those people. You don't gotta go home with those people. You don't gotta spend the rest of your lives with those people. Carry on about your fucking business. But this is what the Republicans do not want to happen. They are so very concerned on what bathroom somebody's using. They are so very concerned about immigrants coming to this country. But meanwhile, I guarantee you a whole bunch of these people are paying immigrants underneath the table to take care of their kids, to take care of their homes. You got the same people who are bitching and complaining about a woman deciding to do what she feels is right with her body, with medical information, data, science backing up her decision. But you guys got a problem with that. You guys got a problem with that. Jesus, I got a problem with these goddamn dogs in the background. But yeah, guys, it's fucking insane, and I don't. How do you deal with that? How do you deal with that when? Let's be real. Most people are not critical thinkers. Most people get their news from CNN, Fox News, MSNBC. That's where the majority of people get their fucking news. And under that umbrella is the New York Times, New York Post, Washington Post. That shit is it's all within those three fucking news stations, if we're being completely fucking honest. Right? So when most people get their information from those platforms, and those platforms are treating Republicans and Democrats like they're equivalent, like their fuck-ups are the same, like the hate in their hearts are equal, then that's how we get to this fucking point. People are really upset with Democrats because they have to play the Republicans' game every day. And they're not fucking too good at it. They're not. Republicans deal in conspiracies. They are name a Democratic conspiracy. I'm sure they're out there. There's fucking crazy people out there. But I'm talking about from legit congresspeople, senators, legislators. What conspiracy theories are Democrats throwing around? Republicans have a fucking shit list. And I'm not just talking about their crazy supporters. I am talking about legislators. Fucking legislators. And what do you do? What do you do when the news is more concerned about getting both sides in for ratings, so both sides can argue and bring more views to their channel? What do you do when that's their main concern? It ain't about telling the truth. It ain't about right or wrong. And the thing about it is, with news, it shouldn't be what's right or wrong. It should be what is the truth. Not what makes me feel good, not what makes me feel bad. What are the fucking facts? Half of you guys, not even half, about 95% of you guys on these fucking news channels, you're doing the same thing that I'm doing. A little more polished up, a lot nicer production because you got the money to back you, but you're doing the same thing. You're on there giving your goddamn opinion instead of telling me what the facts are. And you're murkying the fucking water. You're making the water fucking gross. You can't decipher where you're going, what's up, what's down. And that is why a good chunk of the fucking country is fed up with both parties. They don't even know what the Democratic agenda is because you guys aren't talking about it. You guys are still to this day covering Donald Trump like he's the president. Joe Biden gave a speech last week, and you guys are not even talking about what he said in the speech. You're talking about the optics of the speech and what's happening with Donald Trump and Mar-a-Lago. It's fucking insane. It's disgusting, and we're not going to get any better until you guys get better. You guys got all these privileges as media. You guys get to move around and do what you want to do for the most part. Because you're media, some of you even got to go up into the Capitol building and cover what was going on in the Capitol building while everybody else was getting fucking arrested. You guys got to do that because you're media. Meaning you guys have a higher responsibility. If you get to get away with things, you don't just get to get away with things because, oh shit, oh well, I'm me. No, you get to get away with certain things because you have certain responsibilities. Now fucking live up to them. Alright guys, let's talk about something a little different now. Fucking over there, got that off my chest, I'm feeling good. I wanted to talk to you guys, I just had a question I wanted you to think about, any football fans out there, and then I wanted to cover my fantasy team a little bit, give a little preview, since I am, you know, a bit of a dynasty in my 6-team league that me and a couple of the boys run every year. You know, I'm 3. What's the championship in a fantasy league called? It's not called the Super Bowl, right? 3-time Super Bowl winner, 3-time champion. So we've been doing it for 4 years, and I've won it 3 times. All right. However you want to slice it, dice it, your boys won 3 times. There's no disputing that. That's just what that is. Okay. No matter if it is a 6-team league or not, everyone's team is fucking stacked. Everyone's got a good fucking chance, and yeah, so we'll talk about that. But the first question I really wanted to ask you guys is, why don't offensive and defensive coordinators make it to the NFL Hall of Fame? You know, like there's dudes that do that shit for their whole careers and are top 5, top 10 year after year, and they don't get any Hall of Fame mentions, any Hall of Fame votes. I think that's kind of fucked up. You know, there's one of them situations where the head coach gets a lot of the credit for the shit that the offensive and defensive coordinator were doing. But I guess that's how all businesses work, right? You know, the CEO gets the credit for the shit that all the workers do. He gets the blame for all the shit that the workers do at the same time. So I guess that's just one of those things. But I really truly believe that the NFL needs to become a little more liberal with how they go about selecting people for the Hall of Fame. You know, like if you had a Hall of Fame career, you had a Hall of Fame career. This first ballot, second ballot shit, we can only let 8 people in this year. That shit is corny. If you're supposed to be in the Hall of Fame, you should be in the Hall of Fame. That comes with business opportunities. That comes with speeching gigs. That comes with so many things, just having that title of Hall of Famer on your resume. You know, and if you are a guy that put up 15,000 yards from scrimmage and you got to wait 40 fucking years to get into the Hall of Fame just because, that's kind of fucked up, man. You had a Hall of Fame career. And you just get log jammed because of some what have you done recently shit. You know, like there's a lot of cats now that I'm older, and I know for a fact people weren't into football the same way I was growing up. I'm not saying that they didn't watch football, but I'm talking about just keeping track of shit, stat watching, things like that. There's a whole bunch of people, mark my fucking words, that when you're your parents' age, you're going to look back on and be like, God damn, he was nice. He ain't in the Hall of Fame? And they're not going to be in the Hall of Fame because the Hall of Fame is just that hard to get into. So I think if you reach that threshold that everybody else in the Hall of Fame's at, why the fuck ain't I in the Hall of Fame type of thing? you know, fuck that. We can only let 9 people in. No, man. Why? Why can't you let 15 people in this year? Why can't you let 20 people in this year? Oh, that takes away from it being special. How? Everybody up on that stage did similar shit. What the fuck is the difference? You know, I like how the NBA goes about their Hall of Fame process. You know, because let's be real. If people like Tracy McGrady, if he accomplished what he accomplished in the NFL, that the same shit that he accomplished in the NBA, he wouldn't have been a Hall of Famer in the NFL. He just would have been one of them dudes where you're like, yo, he was real nice. You know, he was real nice. He'd be one of those guys, but because of what he meant in that moment for the NBA, he gets to be in the Hall of Fame. And I'm not saying he doesn't deserve it. I'm just saying that NBA, out of all the 3 major sports leagues, excluding NHL, and they could be in that category, I just personally don't know because I don't watch it. But out of MLB, I think MLB is the hardest. They're fucking assholes about the Hall of Fame. Like, after a certain amount of years, they don't even consider you no more. That's fucked up. So the MLB is the hardest, then the NFL, and then the NBA. You know, and this whole Hall of Fame shit, first of all, I think that the players should have a bit of a voice in who gets to go into the Hall of Fame and who doesn't. You know, you got a bunch of sports writers that like the smell of their own farts and swear to God they know what the fuck they're talking about just because they've been around a football team but never played a lick of football, never coached any football. All you did was talk shit about football players and football teams when things weren't going well and praising them when things are going well. Okay, you don't fucking know the X's and O's. You've been around the game for 30, 40 fucking years and you couldn't tell me the logistics of a 3-4 fucking defense. You couldn't tell me who lines up where and why, but you've been around fucking football for 30, 40 years. Okay, so those are the types of people that are deciding on who gets to get into the fucking Hall of Fame or not. On all, in all sports, MLB, NBA, and NFL. You know, I think even UFC has a bit of an issue with how they go about including Hall of Famers. But, listen, I don't think Dana White and them try to really beat around the bush, man. If they don't fucking like you, they don't like you, and your ass ain't getting into the Hall of Fame. It's pretty out in the open. You know, there's no secret there. There's no hidden agendas. Motherfucker, I ain't like you. You ain't getting in. You know, like, I really truly believe Nate Diaz, there's gonna have to be some years to go by before Nate gets to get into the UFC Hall of Fame. And he has a pretty, I wouldn't say stellar fucking record, but for the longevity in the people who he does have wins over and other people that he has great matches against, he's a Hall of Famer. But I think it's going to take years, especially since he was never a champ. It's gonna take years, and Dana White ain't gonna give a fuck, especially if this shit doesn't end well, if they don't end on good terms. Come on, man, he's got Jens Pulver. They apparently got to be on some sort of good terms because he does the fucking YouTube live reaction to the UFC fights every week, and his ass ain't in the Hall of Fame, and he absolutely positively needs to be in the Hall of Fame. He's the first ever 155-pound champ in UFC history and defended it and beat BJ Penn, and he's not in the Hall of Fame. Fucking crazy. But you know, I'm sure there's some sort of politics behind that. Frank Shamrock's not in the fucking Hall of Fame. You know, it's and I bring this up, and I started thinking about this because I had me and Clover were on the phone for like 45 fucking minutes the other day, and I should have just had him on the podcast, but we were just talking about Hall of Famers, and you know, you gotta wait until a dude's career's completely over to consider if he's in the Hall of Fame or not. And we were talking about LaShawn McCoy, and that man just hit 15,000 yards from scrimmage. I think he needs to be a Hall of Famer. He ring chased and got 2 Super Bowl rings at the end of his career. But that dude has a 2,000 plus yards from scrimmage season. He had like 6 Pro Bowls. The man has 15,000 yards from scrimmage, like I previously said. Hall of Famer. Hall of Famer. Now, is he going to have to wait fucking 20, 30 years? Probably, and that's fucking wrong. That is wrong. Because that man, listen, he is by far top 5 running back of his time. What, I don't even remember what year he got into was it 2009? I gotta look this up. What was his rookie year? Okay, yep, he got drafted in 2009. From 2009 until the time he retired, he had a top 5 career for running backs during that time period. He had a better career than Marshawn Lynch. Marshawn Lynch still got 15,000 yards. You know, so Hall of Fame. I ain't even gonna argue with it. I ain't even gonna try to explain it. Hall of Fame, and I think 15,000 is the standard, but I don't think you necessarily have to have 15,000. But if you do have 15,000, you should definitely be in the Hall of Fame. And then there's people that have 15,000 all-purpose yards, which means kicks and punt returns as well. Like people like Darren Sproles should be in the Hall of Fame. How many fucking all-purpose yards does Darren Sproles fucking have? Let me pull this up. Now, let's just do this. All-time, all-purpose yards NFL. Jerry Rice is number 1, of course. 23,546. Who's the next closest active? They got Adrian Peterson on here as active, but he's not. But he's at 17,808. All-purpose yards. That is fucking over 5,000 yards away from Jerry Rice. So that just puts that into perspective. That will probably be eclipsed one day, just based off of math and shit like that, and time going by, and all things come to an end type of thing. But it's gonna take a special fucking guy. All right, they got Antonio Brown's the next. No. They still got Ted Ginn active. He's not. Antonio Brown, still, he's 15,000 all-purpose. I'm trying to find someone that's like really active. All right, here we go. Julio Jones, still active on a team currently. He has 13,466 all-purpose yards, and that comes in at number 60 all-time. Okay, there are plenty of people: Fred Taylor, Anquan Boldin, Andre Johnson, Devin Hester, Matt Forte. Who else might you guys know? Steven Jackson. Anyone else on here you know? Wes Welker, Derek Mason, Tiki Barber. Tiki Barber got 17,000 plus. You know, these are people that aren't in the Hall of Fame still. Darren Sproles just has under 20,000. He's number 6 all time in all-purpose yards. That man should be in the Hall of Fame. Brian Mitchell, who made his career off of mostly kick and punt return yardage, he has a little more than he's a little more than 200 yards behind Jerry Rice for all-time all-purpose yards. These people should be in the Hall of Fame. Why aren't they? But you'll probably let them in when they're fucking old, decrepit, can't even really enjoy the fucking moment, can't even take advantage of the moment. That's when you guys will let them into the fucking Hall of Fame. Come on in, guys. Come on in, guys. You look good. We needed a couple old guys up here. It's fucked up. It's fucked up. Something needs to be done about it. It's not fair. If we need to up how many people get in every year, fucking up it. And now on to fantasy football. Alright, guys, last bit of info. Last bit of shit we gotta talk about today before I let you guys go. So last night, like I said, we did the fantasy football draft. It's a 16 fucking draft, and I usually have the strategy to gobble up the best running backs I can right off the bat, and then I'll worry about everything after. For the past 2 years, I want to say, somehow I got the first overall pick. So that kind of makes things a little difficult because you get one pick and then you pretty much got to wait 2 fucking rounds to go by before you get another pick. You get back-to-back at that point, but you got to wait the whole first round, the whole second round to get another pick. So things get tricky. So at that point, I always try to gobble up the best running backs because it's going to be slim pickings if I wait until the fucking 4th, 5th round to try to get some elite running backs. Well, last night, I had the last pick of the first fucking round, right? So I got to see how things played out a little bit. I had to take, you know, people's backup picks, I should say. No, the people that I picked, apparently nobody else wanted them first, right? Okay, but that was absolutely fucking positively fine. I changed up my strategy a little bit. One, because I pick up all these running backs every year, but then I find starters, at least 1-2 of them every single year on the waiver wire. Okay, so I'm like, you know what? I'm going to change up my strategy a little bit. If some wide receivers pop up that I know are going to be fucking monsters, I'm going to get my running back because I need that running back first. But if there is a top 3-4 wide receiver at my second round pick option, which is the first pick in the second round, I'm taking them. So what happened is somebody picked Tom Brady second overall. No. That changed the whole fucking landscape for the whole entire draft for everybody. That changed their strategy. I think except for J.O. I think J.O. biting on my strategy a little bit. My past strategy. This motherfucker had 6 running backs on his team. Bit off the strategy a little bit, but I see you. You know, copying is it's a great form of flattery. I'm flattered that you copy my typical strategy because nobody else was doing that shit. In the 4 years that we did it, nobody was gobbling up as many running backs as possible at first. Nobody. I started that shit, but like I said, I had to switch it up. So this year, my first pick was Alvin Kamara. Alvin's going to be a fucking monster. I'm pretty sure the legal shit is behind him, so I don't have to worry about that. That was always my biggest concern with picking him first. But week 1 is a couple days away. Ain't shit happened. I think we're in the clear. All right, I did some weird shit with my roster. I'd like to make my opponent think about who I'm going to play. So right now I only have my quarterback, defense, and kicker in my active roster, so everybody else is on the bench. All right, I'm not gonna take you round by round because I don't really know where the fuck I picked these people and what round I picked them in. But anyway, keep it moving. So my first pick was Alvin Kamara. He's gonna get me 1,600 yards one way or another. He's gonna get me close to 10 touchdowns. All right, and he very much has the ability to get me 2,000 yards and 15-20 touchdowns. So I thought that was a very safe pick. Even if he misses a couple games, I'll be okay, right? He's gonna do his thing. My next pick was Cooper Kupp. Now I don't know why Cooper Kupp wasn't picked in the first fucking round, but I'm like, fuck it, I'm gonna take him. I don't know why Cooper Kupp wasn't picked in the first 5 picks, but if he's gonna be there for me, even though like I said, I usually go back to back running backs, I'm like, nah, fuck that. I'm picking Cooper Kupp. If you know anything about Matthew Stafford, he likes to have a guy. You know, so they could bring in this guy, that guy. He likes Cooper Kupp. Cooper Kupp's gonna get the ball. Cooper Kupp is gonna get me at a minimum 1,200 receiving yards and 10 touchdowns. 10 touchdowns. What do they have him projected at, actually? 1358 and 9.8. So, like I said, I think at a minimum he gets me 12, 13, and 10 touchdowns. I think that's that. And I think he gets 100 catches. This being a PPR league, that's huge. So I think minimum 100, 12, 10. Boom. I'm taking that. Next round pops up. I got back-to-back picks again. I'm like, all right, I do need a running back. I can't keep letting these running backs slip. You know what I'm saying? The people that I wanted weren't necessarily there anymore. I thought I was going to be able to fuck around and get a Dalvin Cook. I thought I was going to be able to fuck around and maybe get, the fuck was this? It wasn't Najee. Whoever it might have been. It was between Dalvin Cook and somebody else. I was like, I need to get one of these guys. Both of them got fucking picked. So I'm like, all right, whatever. I'm going to pick DeAndre Swift. DeAndre Swift got hurt a little bit last year, but if you guys remember, he was a top 5 fucking dude before he got hurt. I want to say he had 60-plus catches last year. He had 400-something receiving yards. He had 600-something rushing yards, and he missed a bunch of games. Four games, something like that. So if he would have fucking kept it going, he would have had close to 80 catches, probably 600-700 yards receiving, and probably fucking 800-900 rushing. You know, so he was going to be another dude, an Alvin Kamara type of dude. He was going to get me that 1,600, or he's going to get me that 1,600 yards and that around 10 touchdowns. So I felt comfortable picking him as my number 2 running back. Now, we got another pick coming up. What are we going to do with it? Guess who's on the board still? Tyreek Hill. I was not letting go Tyreek Hill right there. So I went running back, receiver, running back, receiver. You're not going to give me Tyreek Hill. I truly believe Tyreek Hill is the best quarterback in the league. I think he's going to make Tua look amazing, or at least better than he actually is. I think he has that ability to make his quarterback better. He has the ability to, you could just give me this 6-yard pass and I'll turn the motherfucker into 40 real quick. You know, and that makes the quarterback look good. I think he has that ability. And I think one way or another, he's going to get me 10 touchdowns. I think he's going to get a couple rushing yards. I would not be surprised if he had 200 rushing yards this year. And he's definitely getting me 1,000 receiving yards. Minimum. He has the potential to get you anywhere between 1,000 and 1,700 yards in a season. You know, I try to draft people based on their fucking floor, not their ceiling. All these guys have a humongous ceiling. I think Tyreek Hill's ceiling's a lot higher than most guys, but I try to draft guys based on their basement floor. What is the worst I'm going to get out of this guy? Granted, he's healthy for most of the season. I always take into account that this motherfucker might miss 2 or 3 games this year, so I need people to be able to, replace and move around. So as of right now, my starting running backs are fucking Alvin Kamara, DeAndre Swift, Cooper Kupp, Tyreek Hill. Come on. Ain't nobody in the fucking league got a better 4 than that. They might have 2 better running backs. They sure as hell don't got 2 better receivers. And I think the combination of the running backs and receivers, I think I got the best. And that brings me to, I want to say it was my next pick, because fucking Mark Andrews was gone. That's who I wanted. I really wanted Mark Andrews because I think that's Lamar's favorite fucking guy. I think Mark Andrews is going to put up close to 1,000 yards, and he's going to put up around 10 touchdowns. But he was picked, so I had to go with Kyle Pitts. Now, I think Kyle Pitts has the potential. Again, I think we saw his basement floor last season, which was 68 catches, something like that, 1,000 yards. He only scored 1 touchdown, though. I think he puts up relatively the same amount of receiving yards, if not a little bit more. I think he gets closer to 80 catches, and I think he takes a humongous jump in touchdown production this year. The dude is 6'6". I think if they can get things going, he can easily be a 10 to 15. If not, I think he has potential to even do more than that. But I think he can I don't want to say easily, because nothing is easy in the NFL. He can get me 10 touchdowns next year. So everybody that I have picked so far is, as long as they stay healthy for most of the season, they're going to get me close to 10 fucking touchdowns. Like, they're going to get me 10 fucking touchdowns one way or another between receiving and running the ball. Okay. Next. We're going to skip around here a little bit, because I ended up picking Ezekiel Elliott, and I got James Conner. I think those are 2 good number 3 and 4 running backs. Like I said, I usually get 5 or 6 of them, but I'm only going to stick to 4 because I need to be able to cut somebody if I need to. But it's going to be kind of hard with the fucking team that I have. I don't know if I really want to cut anybody. So I ended up scooping them. Like I said, I think they're great options for 2 or 3, and I think certain weeks I'll be able to move them into the starting lineup just based off a matchup, having a better matchup than maybe a Kamara or DeAndre Swift. But then I ended up picking, guys, I did it. I fucking did it. Week before this, not even a couple days before the season started, I'm getting on the Jalen Hurts bandwagon. I'm getting on it. I picked him as my quarterback, which means, I had choices. I could have picked him. I could have picked Russell Wilson. I could have picked Kyler Murray. I could have picked Joe Burrow. There was a couple options there, but I decided to go with the home team guy. And I decided to go with the home team guy because I really, truly see him putting up similar numbers to last year, which made him, he was top 5 fantasy quarterback last year? Let me see if I can find this. Rankings. Oh, that's not what I want. That's not what I want. How the hell can I just find the fucking rankings? Scoring. He was 9th last year, okay? He put up 312 fantasy points last year. I think at a minimum, I get that out of him again. You know what I'm saying? And again, I'm one of those people that I'll wait to pick a quarterback because I think all those other positions they're a little more rare. You could find quarterbacks that are going to put up 20 points a week. You know what I'm saying? There's not that many running backs that are going to go over 1,000 yards rushing. There's not that many running backs that are going to go over 15 yards from scrimmage. And there's a shit ton of receivers that are going to go over 1,000, but there's not going to be a shit ton of receivers that go over 15. You know, so you got to kind of weigh and decide how you want to do this. But that was my thinking on this. I could wait a little longer as long as I can get a guy that's going to get me about 20 points a game. And I don't even give a fuck how he gets them for me, you know? So that's why it's nice to have a guy that can run the ball a little bit, score a rushing touchdown, you know, score between 5 and 7 rushing touchdowns in a season. I think Jalen Hurts does that for me. And I think his touchdown production goes up a little bit. I expect him to throw some interceptions. That happens, but that doesn't hurt as much. Everything else makes up for it. The 50 yards of rushing is going to make up for that interception he's going to throw. You know what I'm saying? You know, so I decided to go with him as my first pick at quarterback. But then I came around and I also picked Russell Wilson. I got to pick Russell because if I'm going to have somebody who I believe has boom or bust potential in Jalen Hurts, like I said, I think he gets me relatively the same amount of points as last year, but he could also go out there and shit the bed. He could. I know what I'm getting with Russell. I know exactly what the fuck I'm getting with Russell. So I needed him, and do not be surprised if he ends up being the starting quarterback. But those are my 2 quarterbacks. I felt fucking absolutely fine with them, especially given who my top 4 players actually are. You know, I would say even top 5, I think Kyle Pitts is going to be an absolute fucking monster this year. And that's why it did hurt that I couldn't get Mark Andrews. But, man, Kyle Pitts just looks like one of them dudes that's not done getting better yet. All right, let's see who else I picked up. Some interesting things. So I picked up Terry McLaurin, Scary Terry. I think he's had the best quarterback that he's played with up until this point in Carson Wentz. I'm not even going to get on the Carson Wentz fucking spiel right now. You guys already know how I feel. There's never been a dude to drop 27-7 to get disrespected at such a high fucking rate as Carson Wentz. But I digress, because I've been picking him in every other league, and fuck around, I'll pick him up again this year. But I feel like Jalen Hurts has more potential fantasy-wise because of his running ability, and Russell's Russell. Russell is a first ballot Hall of Famer. That Hall of Fame debate or talk we were having earlier in the podcast, there ain't no fucking debate about Russell. So that's why I picked that. But fuck around, Jalen, and I will drop you for Carson. But I got Terry. I think Terry's going to be a 1,200-yard dude. I hope he can get some more touchdowns. That's the biggest thing with Terry. I also picked up Jaylen Brown because I think Jaylen Brown is a monster. My concern is he continuing to get better, or is he who he's going to be? You know, but either way, you never know. I like to have the wide receiver quarterback combo, because if you have them both in, sometimes you get the 2 for 1. You get to double up on your fucking points. So I definitely had to get AJ, because I think he has boom or bust potential as well, and I can double up on his points if I need to. Or if I want to, I don't even need to. We're almost done, guys. So then I got Dalton Schultz from the Cowboys. Again, I can recognize a good fucking football player. I don't care if he's on the fucking Cowboys, if he's on the Giants, if he's on Washington. I know a good football player when I see it. And Dalton is a fucking baller, and I think he's an absolute safe pick. If for whatever reason Kyle Pitts gets hurt, bye week, just is in a slump, something like that, I think Dalton is pretty consistent, and I think he's a great second tight end option to have, because I think he is a starter on a lot of other fantasy teams. So I am happy to have him. I think, honestly, out of all the positions, that might be the one where I'm fucking in serious debate week after week on who I'm going to play, Kyle Pitts or Dalton Schultz. Kyle Pitts has the higher potential. I know exactly what I'm going to get with Dalton every fucking week. And then that brings me to my last two picks. Okay, well, I'll tell you, I picked the Ravens defense because I think they're going to have a bounce-back season. A whole bunch of people are healthy again. But if not, I'll drop them. I got no problem dropping them. And then I picked Matt Gay from the LA Rams. I just think they're going to be scoring. At the very least, they're going to be a fucking top 5, 6, 7 offense in the NFL, which means he's going to get opportunities to score points. You know, kicker's another thing that's year to year. He'll probably be dropped at some point for somebody else who's on fire, whose team is kicking a lot more field goals because they can't get into the end zone. So those things are very flexible. Defense and kicker are very flexible. But then that brings me to my last two picks. DeAndre Hopkins, suspended, but again, I think after reading you the depth I have at wide receiver, that is a very nice stashable player. And then Michael Thomas. Is he going to come back? Is he going to be the 130 catch guy that he was prior to being hurt a couple years ago? Again, guys, I'm ready to cut the last 4 fucking kicker, defense, these 2 wide receivers, I am ready to cut them if I have to. That's why I drafted them there, because I'm not that attached to them. It would be nice if I get some production out of them. It would be nice if I get some nice, good-ass 30-point games out of them, but I'm ready to cut them if need be. So as of right now, I don't know. Let's see where I'm projected to finish. I should be number fucking 1. They got me at number 3, but I'm supposed to put up 139 fucking points this week, which is higher than anyone else's. See, that thing, we'll see after week 1 how that updates, because I do feel like I got the number 1 fucking team. I'm expected to put up the most points this week. I think I got the number 1 fucking team as it is. But every year that I've done this, every fucking year I start off at number 3, and that's fine with me. I'd rather be number 3 now and number 1 later. You dig? But yeah, guys, that's my fantasy team. We how we do it is we do $20 a head. You know, we just do it enough where it's worth shit talking a little bit, keep things interesting. First place gets $80. Second place keeps their $20. You know, it's just a little something. And who the fuck can't use $80? Go out to dinner or something with the $80 on whatever the case may be. But we just keep it light. We only keep it at 20, because once you start losing real money, that's when your feelings get hurt. That's when people get pissed off. $20 is a fucking trip to Five Guys. You know. So that's why we do that. I'm looking forward to it. It keeps the games interesting, and with me being so fucking amped for the NFL season, you know, just adds a little extra gravy, little cherry on the top of the sundae, especially if I can win. If I could win again, God, I don't know, I might have to just fucking retire. I might just have to be like, you know what, I'm done, man. I'm done. Like, I've never looked forward to losing, but maybe me losing this year might be better for the whole entire league, man. You know, I'm starting to snatch people's will to play. People don't want to play no more. I work that fucking waiver wire harder than anyone else does. That's why I win. I've worked that motherfucker. Oh, shit. But guys, listen. Thanks for going on the roller coaster of emotions that I was on today. From turning 30 to talking about politics to talking shit about fantasy football. You know, I just want to thank you guys like always. And I'll catch you guys next week. But first, be safe, be easy, and wash your ass. I'm out of here. Peace.